Okay, I'm going to show you how we're going to use the color wheel to paint our mandala. Our color scheme to our mandala is going to be the color wheel. Each section of the mandala, each pie piece, remember we had 12 pie pieces. Each pie piece is going to represent a color on the color wheel, and it must go in order. The purpose of this is for you to understand and be able to use the color wheel to help you with your color choices for your art projects. We're going to be using watercolor paints for this. The paint trays might be dirty, and you want to keep in mind how to clean those, and it's okay if they're a little bit dirty. They clean up really well. They still work the same. And I have a color mixing chart here for you guys to refer to. It shows you how to mix the tertiary colors. These are your primary colors, these are your secondary colors, and these are the tertiary colors that they make. So you can keep that handy. The first thing I'm going to do with my brush is get it wet. And remember, when you take the brush out, you want to scrape the brush. Don't tap it, because if you tap it, then water's going to fly all over the place and ruin somebody's artwork. I'm going to start with yellow at the top of my mandala. And to get these to clean up, all you need to do is rinse them like this, and then swish and clean it up, scrape, and then you're ready to use it. It's nice and clean already. When you paint, remember you need to use the very tippy top of the brush. You don't want to push the brush down and have the paper touch the metal ferrule part of the brush, because then you're going to ruin your paper and you're going to scrape away all the black designs that you made there. So you just need to remember to use the very tippy top of your brush. And I'm going to load it up with paint. And I'm going to start with yellow on this one right here. We're not painting each little shape inside the mandala a different color. We're just painting this section of the pie a one color. I'm going to look next. What's next to yellow on either side? To the right is yellow green. It doesn't matter if you put yellow orange on this side, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and go to the left and paint yellow green. What you're not going to do is mix the colors on the tray. You're actually going to mix the colors on the paper. I'm going to get a little more water. I'm going to get yellow again, because to make yellow green, I've got to mix yellow with green. But like I said, I'm going to do that on the paper. I'm going to first paint the yellow-green section yellow. I like to outline the area that I paint first, and it just kind of helps. And it's okay if you go outside of the lines a little bit, because we are going to cut these out. I have yellow. Now I need to switch my colors, so I'm just going to paint the green right on top of the yellow, and it's going to mix in with the yellow that you've already painted and create a yellow-green color. And don't worry about covering up your lines, because when the paint dries, you're still going to be able to see those lines nicely. And it's okay if the colors kind of blend together in between. That's not going to hurt anything. This is what it will look like when it dries. Now I'm ready for green. I need to get that yellow out of my brush. I'm going to swish, scrape, and then paint. If your paint on your paper gets really scratchy, if you see these scratch marks, that means you need more water in your brush. So grab a little more water and a little more paint. The watercolor needs to be translucent. You need to be able to see through it. That's the glory of watercolor paint, is that you can see through the paint. If you're not adding enough water and you just keep adding the sticky watercolor paint, it's going to be so thick that you're not going to be able to see through it. You want it to be translucent and see-through like this. I'm going to be mindful of my color wheel. Next to green is blue-green. So I'm going to do exactly what the color tells me to do. I'm going to paint blue and I'm going to paint green. To make the tertiary colors, you're going to first paint one color and then paint the other color right on top of it. Do not mix the colors in the pan. This is where it kind of gets tricky. You need to remember when you paint like this that next to green isn't blue, it's blue-green. So see, I just made a mistake. This is red, and this is supposed to be red-orange, and I accidentally started painting this orange. That's okay, because that needs to be orange anyway. But what I do need to do is go back and paint orange on top of my red to make that red-orange.